Welcome back to SANGREAL Stories, the podcast hosted by us and written by you. Today, I am joined with the wonderful Jessica Lund.
Oh, hello. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honestly so honored to be like your first guest on the podcast. Like, I'm just so excited to chat with you. Like, two girls from Find Me in Paris doing small businesses. Like, it's just wild.
I
We're
know,
like
it's
little
mad.
entrepreneurs now. I know.
It's so mad. So, for people who don't know, we've known each other for how many years? Is it like 7 years?
Oh my God, I think 6 or 7 years. Yeah, we're in 2024. Seven.
That's
7 years.
mental. That is mental. Um,
Oh my God.
anyway, but we met
That's so
on
cute though. What a full circle moment.
mad, like
That's actually
actually.
not, that didn't click that it was 7 years until right now. So that's just actually mad. Wow.
Just let that sink in a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we met on the set of Find Me in Paris. Jess was the beautiful Lena, and I was the mental Kennedy. And yeah, we were in Paris, living it up, living the life, and now we're founders of our own brands. So,
Yeah.
Jess, do you want to take it away, introduce Beezy?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I've got to show you my adorable shorts that I'm literally obsessed with.
Oh, I love it.
I haven't been able to stop wearing them. I have to say too, like the quality is so good. Like it's proper like heavy sweats, which like is so like popular here in LA. Obviously, right now it's the middle of the summer. I've got my jumper here as well, which I'm also obsessed with, and I'm wearing it at nighttime, but it's literally a heat wave in LA right now.
Yeah,
So
I
we're
don't
just
blame
gonna
you.
keep this back here.
And I'm
But I
repping
love
the Beezy. I know it's like tucked under my headphones right now,
yeah.
but I'm in love. This ring, by the way, sorry, we need to discuss this.
I know I love the hammered look. I love the textured jewelry. We're dropping some more pieces in it as well. It's like probably my favorite. I don't know
I
what
love
it
it.
is.
Yeah,
I just love it's just a bit unique and I like that it kind of goes with everything, but it gives a bit of edge to a look. So I'm glad that you like
exactly.
it.
I love it.
Yay.
So, how was Bizou born? What's the origin of Bizou?
Well, okay, so I always knew that I wanted to be part of the business world. I knew that I wanted to start my own business at some point. My nana and granddad have their own business, my mum and dad. So it's kind of always been in my blood, and I've always kind of had that in me. In 2019, I was going to start a clothing line, and we were designing pieces. I was working with a team, and it kind of fell through just for a few different reasons. It didn't feel right. There was a lot of my intuition was telling me that this was not really the direction I should be going in.
Yeah,
And obviously that was before like the world kind of like changed and I had moved to LA like during that time and it was just there was a lot going on. So it didn't work out. And then recently here in America, our actors union went on strike for about like I think it was like 8 months. So I was I was living my best life trying to, make the most of, not working, but it was absolutely killing me not to be creative. And, I felt like, not that I was wasting time, but I'm somebody that needs to be constantly doing something, working on myself, working
yeah.
in some capacity.
I feel the
And there
same.
wasn't,
I feel like also in like COVID, like that was a massive thing as well. Like you just
yeah,
felt lost because you couldn't work. Like you just had nothing to do. So it's
yeah,
just like
no,
putting yourself into a business is just like unreal. It's the
no,
best thing you can
no,
do.
exactly. And I felt like, I've got this time off right now. What can I be doing with this time instead of just kind of like, you not being lazy, but like I almost had this feeling of guilt, even though it was out of my
Yeah.
control. I was like, I also, as actors too, this industry is just so unpredictable and it's not consistent and it's not
Preach.
always reliable. So I'm like, it would be good for me to have something else, as a side hustle and another form of income and something that I can put my creativity in. And so during the strike, I was like, okay, maybe this is my time to launch a business. And I started brainstorming a little bit. And to be honest, it happened so quickly. Like I had the idea, I think it was at the beginning of August, and we launched in December. So it happened very fast, but it was
That's
like,
mad.
because I had all this time, I was really just like, go, go, go. All day, every day was committed to launching this business. And I think, yeah, I knew that I wanted to do something that was personal. So that's kind of where Bizouxx, like the name came from. I've always loved jewelry, and I always get questions about my jewelry. Like I'll even like, if I'm buying something at a store, like people will be asking about my jewelry, and I never like, I hate gatekeeping. So I'll just be like, oh, like I got it from here. And if you style this piece with this kind of piece, and I
Oh,
just like,
we love
I
that.
realized I realized I was just like really passionate about it.
Mm,
And I also just feel like with jewelry, it's a little more inclusive than clothing. And I do feel like, clothing is more difficult. Like I give you credit on launching a clothing line because it's
yeah.
it's more difficult, like in terms of sizing and quality, and there's just a lot more to it, and people's individual style and
Yeah.
stuff like
That's
that.
one thing that like when you sent me this ring and it's like it doesn't have to be a specific size because it like
Yeah, all our rings are adjustable. Yeah,
yeah,
like the ones I've got on right now, these are adjustable as well. So they've got like the little opening so you can
I
kind of
love
adjust it. This one's
that.
got the opening. And we might end up doing sizes eventually, but especially as like the first launch, we've only done 3 drops so far. And I just wanted to make sure that, I'm still learning. And I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that, everyone it was inclusive and, different sizes. And if we do get requests for specific sizes, then I'll kind of go down that road. But I
Yeah.
like the idea that people can put the rings on different fingers and
No, I love
kind of
it.
switch it up. So yeah, I think Bazoo just came from like a personal place. Obviously us living in Paris on and off for 3 years.
Yeah.
I fell in love with French culture. I always sign off. I think it's a British thing, but we tend to sign off like text messages, emails with a kiss,
Yeah.
So it was actually my best friend was, we were brainstorming ideas, and I was wearing a t-shirt that had like a little X on it. And she was like, well, I feel like it should be something to do with that. Like that's like your little signature thing. And then that just got my creativity going. I was like, you are onto something, girl. And I was like, wait, this is perfect. Like I advocate for like self-love and just spreading love and kindness. And I just feel like the kisses in French is bisous, and I think that's really sweet. And I love like the way it sounds, and I just love French culture. And I kind of wanted the brand to be inspired by French culture and sort of like an old French culture, old Hollywood kind of mixed vibe, kind of vintage-ish, dark feminine. So it all kind of ended up just falling together. Honestly, it was easy for me to come up with the name and to connect with the brand and find kind of the space that it was going to be in, and just where I was going to go with it creatively. Because, to be honest, I was being selfish about it. It was everything that I wanted, everything I loved, all the pieces are what I want. And I just hope that other people can resonate with that and connect with that, because I really want the brand, I really wanted it to be about, I'm on this journey and have been on this journey for a few years now of connecting with myself, this like journey of self-discovery and embracing my womanhood and connecting with divine feminine. And it's been such a beautiful journey, and I just wanted to pass that on and inspire other women to sort of embrace that part of ourselves.
Yeah.
So I just really wanted to curate this brand to women. I named all the pieces after my best friends and my mom, and I've named a piece after my nana. Like I'm naming pieces after important women in my life that have inspired me. So I just hope that, I wanted it to be more than just like pretty trinkets. I want
Yeah.
women to be able to connect with a brand, and it be something that, women can grow from, and just build this community of women. And that's really what I'm seeing Bizouxx grow into, this community of women. It's just so beautiful and exciting, and it keeps me motivated to keep going.
Oh, I love that. Going back to the like, you've done 3 drops already. Was there like a running theme throughout each of the drops, or was it kind of like specific pieces were coming out in those drops? What was kind of the inspo for each drop?
Yeah, so the first launch was very much like, like I said, it was quite selfish. I'm a gold girly. I love my gold jewelry. So I did the first drop all gold, and it was around Christmas time too. And,
Yeah.
I felt like I wanted it to have that just warm, divine feminine feel to it. And I think that, I have like the red stone as well involved in the first drop. I think that was
Yeah.
part of, it being around the holidays, and also that red is one of our colors of the brand. So I did want to kind of make that a bit more of a warm drop. And then for Valentine's Day, I guess there wasn't anything specific with the drop. The one I'm about to launch right now, actually, this is a piece I just designed this weekend. And the
Beautiful.
earrings, and yeah, so this drop is actually more specific to like summertime shells and pearls and more of a dreamy kind of feel.
Yeah.
But I think that, and then the one before that, I wanted to do bolder pieces, like the bubbly kind of jewelry, which I
Hmm.
have, our bubble earrings, and we have like a bracelet coming out that's a bit more bubbly. So I kind of I like things to be like a little bit unique, but I would say that specifically with the drops, I wouldn't like differentiate each drop so different, because I'm trying to keep it all on the same in the same feel and on brand. Which is actually something that has been challenging, because sometimes I want to go outside of it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I want to stay on brand, and that can sometimes be just I have to remind myself, and actually my mum reminds me sometimes. She'll be like, that's not very Bizou. I'm like, you know what, you're right, I need to like change my direction.
I love that.
So
Keeping you
I
on
know.
track.
Yeah, she does. She does. She's the best.
And speaking about like women and stuff, is there anyone who's kind of maybe in the jewelry world right now who's inspiring you, or anyone who just inspired you in general to kind of go forward with Bizou?
I would say specifically with jewelry, not so much. It's more like the women in my life that have just been so supportive through the roller coaster that life is, and have been just the most like my rocks in my life. And like, I don't know what I would do without these women. And I think just my best friends and my mom, honestly, have inspired me. And my parents, my mom and dad, with starting their business, and, starting from nothing and building, and the hard work. Like, they've really taught me what hard work is. Same with my nana and granddad. And they've inspired me. I would go to my nana and granddad and my mom and dad for advice on the business, and, how to operate. And because I've been doing most of it, like pretty much all of it by myself.
I
So,
find that mad. Like
yeah,
even
it's a
like
lot.
numbers and stuff, I'm like, I cannot compute this.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. Like, obviously I have an accountant and stuff like that, but like in
Yeah.
terms of, the numbers. But no, it's like I've got a lot of stuff going on this laptop, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And it is a lot to keep track of. I have an incredible friend here, Paige. She like helps me with the social media side of things, and when I'm away like filming, or if I'm just away traveling, she manages my orders while I'm gone.
Right.
But I'm hoping I'll get to the point where I'll work with like a drop shipping company. That's just, I'm
Okay.
not there yet, because I like I like to be in control, and I think I'm having
I feel
a
you.
bit of a like problem giving away that control a little bit. So I think I just need to make sure, because like I said, I'm still learning. I'm still making the brand what I
The
want
thing
it to
is though,
be.
everyone's learning. Like even like the
Yeah.
biggest brands, like they're still
I know, it doesn't
learning.
stop, does it? It
No,
never stops.
no. So we shouldn't feel like bad about that. Like, oh, do I feel like I'm
No.
doing enough? Like we're always going to be learning.
No, absolutely. And yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and there's like ups and downs, and I know that I do need to hire a team at some point, and I am going to probably need to have a drop shipping company, because my apartment is not going to be able to hold all this jewelry anymore.
I love
So
that.
so yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot, but it's good. It's like I'm happy, and I'm learning so much. I feel like I'm growing as an individual and
Hmm.
learning so much about just the business side of things, and even just, this is part of my personal journey of connecting to my womanhood as well. The more that I'm connecting with this brand, that inspires that. So it's been beautiful. No complaints.
Has there been any hurdles though that you could maybe discuss?
Yeah, I have had some manufacturing issues,
Okay.
and that was always really scary. But luckily, I always sample my jewelry for like a long period of time. The only time I
Yeah.
didn't was the first drop, because I didn't have a lot of time. I only had about a month before I launched to
Oh my
like
goodness.
sample the jewelry. But now I get like way ahead of it. So the pieces that I'll be dropping in the summer, like I've been testing since the beginning of the year, kind of thing, just to
Yeah.
like make sure everything's okay and that I like it. If the other people are noticing it, like I want to make sure that I don't get sick of it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that things are on in trending too. That's another thing I'm sure that you've probably found for yourself as well, like staying on top of trends and,
Yeah.
making sure people are able to connect with it or not being too late to the trend,
Yeah.
So
And I think that reflects as well on social media and marketing and stuff. It's what
yes.
people want to see right now. But I find that really hard to connect like social media trends to your brand. It's hard to kind of pick the right ones that'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
that translates like what we're trying to
Yeah,
do. How have you
exactly.
found like the marketing side of it? I feel like it's really tricky.
Well, yeah, it is because also trends like have come and go like that,
Yeah,
they're so quick to
yeah,
like, so by the time we, find something that works with our brand and that we can push out and, have people relate to, they might be over it.
yeah,
So it's almost
exactly.
like we have to be ahead of it, which is difficult, especially when, we're managing all these other things in our business and our brand. That's just a whole other component that's added on to
Yeah,
our already heavy like workload is, just the knowledge of that. So, and I know a lot of businesses have people like employees that actually specialize in that. So
yeah,
hopefully at some point, like that's the plan, I'll get to that point where I can hire someone to sort of be on top of the trends because I'm not very much like on social media. Like I do post a lot, but I'm not necessarily like scrolling on things and staying on top of.
oh, that is me. I'm like sat there all night. It's so
I'm
bad.
like, girl, you can help me out there. Let me know what's trending.
I feel like I need help. I need to get off of it.
Yeah,
That's the
no.
thing. Like, I feel like by the time something showed up on like your For You page or something, you'll end up posting it and it's getting like 500 views, and you're like, but I thought this was a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
no, no, really. And luckily that's where Paige really helps me out because she is a social media manager for like people and brands. So
okay.
she'll like and she's one of my best friends and
Yeah.
she'll text me and be like, do a video to this sound, or can you do this type of style to, and caption it this, like this is a trending thing right now. She even has videos on her page where she's like, these are my like jewelry trending predictions of like the summer. And I'm like, girl, send those to me.
Yeah. What?
I'm like, send that directly to me. She's so good at all that. So I'm grateful because she has been like my rock in this and she's been such a great help and she's so generous with her time with me and she's just so lovely. So I'm grateful that she is an expert in the social media world because I'm
Mhm.
really not. I might
I
make it
feel
look
you.
like I am with my posting, but I'm not. So she's been so helpful. I can ask her anything and she'll be like, yep, use this sound. This is like trending right now and
Yeah.
use these words and whatever. But, social media is a little bit overwhelming when it comes to that because I feel like there's so many different rules and different like algorithms and like all of this stuff that I'm just like, it's a lot to keep up with. And honestly, it's
Yes.
really like hard for me personally to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
It's just a bit much.
I feel like it's just
Things are
like
changing.
luck and chance. Like as you said, like
Yeah.
everything's changing, and it's just like this random sound where someone's like making a noise and it will just like blow up, and you're like, how is that
Yeah.
even a thing? But like
Yeah.
on TikTok as well, I feel like it's so much more casual. Like it will just be like the most random thing. Whereas like Instagram, you have to try and be like this really aesthetic
Yes.
brand. But
I
then at the
agree.
same time, you're trying to like make it connect with your brand, and then you're like making stuff for both separate accounts, and you're like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my goodness,
Oh, trust me. I
it's
know
mad.
I know it's a lot. It's like it's overwhelming for sure. Like I can't. It's just having to balance it all too. And then on top of that, we're
Yeah,
creating our new pieces and we're doing and the marketing side of it. Like you said, that's I've only marketed on social media. I haven't pushed it anywhere else yet.
yeah,
I feel like that I do want to go in that direction, but right now it's kind of all I can manage
yeah,
is the social media side. And even that, then like that is something that not that I'm feeling like guilty about it, but I don't post on my Bizouxx page every day. I'm not pushing. Like I feel like I need to be doing that more.
yeah,
And and it's I don't know why I'm neglecting it because I know that I mean that's the only way I'm making sales.
yeah,
But I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like I wish that I had an excuse, but I don't. Like I think
yeah,
it's just more like I'm I need to hire Paige to like fully take over the Instagram and
yeah.
manage it,
Because you end up
because
feeling like guilty, don't you? You're like, oh, I haven't posted today, but then you're like
Yeah,
trying to just like cram things together, like, does this work? But then it's just like not good enough. Do you know what I mean? So you have to like
no.
kind of
That's our
schedule.
problem though, because I know you're the same. We're perfectionists and
Yes.
we need to work on that. We need to like try and separate that and like not, because a lot of the time too, posting is about consistency, and that's really what I'm
I
doing better on my
know.
personal page, but I need to like do that on the Bizouxx page. But I find that the videos that and content that does the best are things that people want to share with other people,
Yeah.
right? So that's why, like, when it comes to like a random video that does really well, it's usually something that everybody's tagging their friends in or sending to their bestie or sending, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a good sort of trick in like marketing in the content world. But
Yeah.
I don't, other than that, I don't really know. Like, I'm not an expert in that field.
So have you sent Bizou to influencers? Like, how's like the reception been for that?
Yeah, so that really has been a big part of my marketing strategy because I've only been using social media to advertise. But even with our first launch, I had like, I think 12, I made 12 PR packages for influencers, celebrities, reality stars, what have you. And I made it very personal. I like hand wrote a note, and it was very much
Oh,
about like taking yourself out on a date. So I even had my graphic designer make these little like RSVP cards for yourself, and like a candle with matches,
oh,
and
I
then
love
a few pieces of
that.
jewelry and some like caramel chocolates and like stuff like that. And I really liked it. I put like a lot of love into the PR packages, and I sent it out to these 12 girls. And the thing is with gifting, especially bigger, influencers and celebrities, because you're not paying them to post, they're not obligated to do so. It's just a gift. So I
Yeah.
maybe had like two or three out of the 12 actually post it on their stories, which is fine because, I
Yeah.
just want them to become a fan of the brand. I want them to love the brand
Yeah.
as on a personal level. It's not about like, yes, it's about the exposure, but, even like one, like Mary didn't like necessarily post it on her story, but she wore the earrings for a
Yes.
photo shoot. And so,
Yeah.
even then it's just like getting it in the hands of the people that you think are going to love it. And that's another thing I really did with each girl, pick out jewelry that I think they would love. I went on their Instagrams, I was looking
Yeah.
at what color they wear, I was looking if they like the hoops, if what kind of, if they're more
Yeah.
dainty. And you really have to be smart about how you're gifting it. But I also gifted a bunch of pieces to a stylist that I've worked with, and she works with a lot of celebrities for carpets and
I
people,
love
for photo
that.
shoots. So she can then put the jewelry on the girls and style them and either gift it to them if they want to keep it, great. And one of my girls, Nicole, she is so lovely. I gifted her like a bunch of pieces, and she would just like, she wore the body chain to Coachella, posted a cute little video, tagged us. Like, I didn't even ask. She's just so generous and so lovely. And even then, it just makes me want to send her all the new pieces every time we have a new launch. I'm like, she's getting a
Yeah.
PR package. And so it's kind of nice because I'm able to like develop these relationships with these beautiful women that are in the industry, and connect with them through a brand that is also about women and empowering women. And it just like feels really good to build this community, and I feel
Yeah.
like these women really are connecting with the brand, and it's just like it fills my heart. And I don't, like I said, I don't expect anybody to like post it and give me the exposure, as long as they're connecting with the brand, and in the future maybe want to receive gifting or telling their friends
Yeah.
about it. It's all about just like getting the brand out there. So yeah, big social media is a big part of it, and it does definitely help. But just the fact that they chose to wear it, like, makes me really happy. Then I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like it's not always about posting, it's just wearing it naturally and then
Yeah,
someone being like, oh, what are you wearing? And
exactly.
then that's the exposure as well. And I think also like going back to like the sense of community that you have, like I love that because that's kind of what like we're trying to do here at SANGREAL Stories is like bring everyone together and all their stories and just all connect on it because we're all going through the highs and the lows together. Like we're all small businesses and we're just starting out. It's
Yeah.
so nice to just be able to connect on that level and be able to talk about it.
No, of course I know, because sometimes like it can feel like you're alone and you're like sort of, going to the battlefield on your own, and it's like you against this business world, and it's a
Yeah,
lot to take on. It's like it can be really overwhelming, and when the hurdles do come, like I think that for us as actors and people that have been in the industry and growing up as a dancer, like I really learned a lot of skills, like the discipline and taking criticism well and having to like find solutions quickly. And I think
yeah,
that has helped me in translate through business, thank God, because I don't know, it would be way too much for me to do this on my own. And I keep
yeah,
saying I'm on my own. I have, I go to my parents and my grandparents for advice, and I have my graphic designer Haley Cole, who's just amazing. Like she did all of the hand drawn sketches for our logos and all of the beautiful pictures that you see on the website. And I have my photographer Abby, who's just been like my rock through all of this. Like she brings the brand to life, and like I said, Paige has just been wonderful. It's just in terms of the business side of it, it can feel really lonely. So it's so nice to connect with other businesses, and I'm so excited to see like the other people that you bring on the podcast. And this is just going to be such a great like journey for you to like help other people learn from watching and like learn from each other. So I think it's
yeah.
a great idea.
Thanks, love. Um, Going back to kind of like the acting side of things, do you see Bizouxx and like your acting career kind of going hand in hand? Like, how does that work?
I definitely think that like it's allowed me to really bring my creative direction to life, and I'm loving, like I want to direct in the future as well, and I get to, you know, think outside the box. And my campaigns have been a little bit like outside of the box. And, some people have disagreed with some of the things that have been involved in my campaigns, which is okay. And I am totally fine with, you know, accepting the fact that everyone's got their own opinions, and that's fine. I'm not like offended if you don't like something or have something negative to say. Like that is totally fine. We're not all going to be on the same page.
Yeah, like no one's going to be happy with
Yeah.
everything. Like there's
No,
always going to be
exactly.
someone. So it's fine. And that, like
Exactly.
thinking about like the directing thing as well. Like I remember when you did that on set, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Oh, no, I
nostalgia.
know. I know that was so fun. And I just love like putting my creativity like out there, and just like and Abby, my photographer, and we really bounce off each other, and she gets me so much. Like she just knows what I
Yeah,
like and don't like. And that's really been helpful, because it's important to have a good team creatively to like bring your vision to life. And I don't know, I just love, I have some like crazy ideas sometimes, and I just love to like make them happen and bring them to life. And I think
yeah,
that's been part of the acting side of it is, I think that's been just ignited my creativity to model, or even with the campaigns, there is acting involved in the campaigns. I'm
yeah,
playing a character, and that was a big part of it. Like in the very first launch, my character's this like French, like old French, like you feel to her, right? Like and I'm smoking a cigarette in one of the clips, in one of the looks. And some people didn't like that, and that's totally fine. I respect that, and I understand why you didn't
yeah,
like it. I am not a smoker personally. I was
yeah.
playing a role. So in my mind, that's me
I
acting.
can vouch for that.
Yeah,
She's
you're
not.
like, you're not a smoker. And nothing against it, in my personal opinion,
No.
do your thing, whatever. But in my mind, it's just like I'm playing a character in that.
Yeah.
And it's like
And
I
that's the
was
thing,
looking
like,
at it.
sorry.
Oh no,
It's
you're
like
good, you're good.
it's funny how it's received as well, because like we're absolutely like not like that, but then like
Yeah.
you're heavily judged for it, and it's like, no, like this is a campaign. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
me.
and I understand that people are like, why are you smoking it? Like, why does that make us want to buy the jewelry? But it was more about just like
The
that first
vibe.
launch, especially was for the launching the brand, bringing it to life, showing people
Yeah.
what it's about, and the culture behind it. And when we were in France filming, everybody around us is smoking cigarettes. It's just like
Yeah.
if you have been to France, you get it. So
Yeah.
and I would think like if I'm playing a character on TV that's a smoker, like it's nobody's going to say anything about it. So in my mind,
I
it's
mean,
not.
even like sometimes then it can be lines are blurred as well, and you're like,
Yeah.
why have you done that? And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I've been
Yeah.
told to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No,
My character
exactly.
does that.
Exactly, exactly. And I did want to kind of bring that feel to it. It's just like a French feel. It's just part of their culture. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
So, yeah, it's, I think bringing like acting and business, I do find is like goes hand in hand, especially when it comes to campaigns and being creative and trying to tell a story. I think that's like the main part of it.
yeah. I think for like both of us as well, as long as we're like getting ourselves into something creative, that's like when we're happiest. So
Yeah.
doing all of this is like so us.
Yeah, and
Yes.
acting is like in our blood, so we're always
Yeah.
going to bring that to everything that we do. I feel, you know what I mean? Like, and that is,
Yeah.
the creative side of who we are, and us like being artistic and getting to like sort of, you know, get in tune with that creative side through something other than being on camera, which I think is just like so beautiful that we can like bring that to different parts of our lives.
Yeah. I agree. So before we kind of like start wrapping things up, do you have any advice, I guess, for anyone kind of starting out in the jewelry industry or they're kind of wanting to? Is there anything you could offer there?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm still learning. It's still new. We haven't even
Yeah.
been launched for like a year. But definitely test your pieces before you launch them. Like, try a few different manufacturers, make sure that you're on the same page. I think for me, I was blessed to already have a social media following. So I think the marketing would be really important, like, especially in terms of jewelry, something that I want to do in the future. So, like, maybe shouldn't be giving this advice because I haven't actually done it yet. But for someone that especially doesn't have the social media already built, I want to put my jewelry into like a hair salon, a nail salon, like places where girls are, especially nail salons, like going to get your nails done
Yeah.
and then like see having the little jewelry at the cashier. Like you're gonna be,
Yeah.
oh, I want a cute new ring, like for my, my new nails.
Yeah.
And I think just like putting it in the right places with other small businesses, collaborating, gifting to, you know, people that even just like your friends and stuff like that. Like I always feel like my women that wear my jewelry are walking billboards. Like they're
Yeah.
repping my jewelry. People are asking, we're always asking each other, where did you get that? Oh my God, I love that. Like, you know what I mean? We're always like, I feel like it's always like a community of sharing. And I feel like we're in a time where there's no gatekeeping, which I love that. And I think it's just a matter of sharing and putting yourself out there. But I mean, specifically like business wise, you've just got to like make sure you're doing everything like legally, like even have a lawyer, get your business license, like all of the things. So, but it did take me like what probably took me the most time was finding a good manufacturer, making sure that like I wanted to start with it being affordable but still really good quality, which is why I've done like gold plated brass and stainless steel, but I eventually want to do gold filled, and I even want to eventually have a fine line of real gold at some point. So,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to have something for everyone, which is why I also like for the next drop introduced silver pieces because I'm like, there's obviously our silver girlies out there, like Caitlin.
Thank you.
You're like, yep, that's what I thought. So, I think that's important too, but also just like put yourself into the brand as much as possible because it's going to help you enjoy it. It'll allow you to be the passion to come through, and that translates to other people. And it allows you to keep going. Like, if I didn't love what I do, it would be really overwhelming. I've got a lot of other things going on in my life. This isn't my main job. So it's, you have to be genuinely passionate about it and make sure that the pieces are things that you love and, you're happy with the way that everything is set up and that you're not doing things for other people. Like, obviously, I want people to connect with the brand and I want to curate to people that are like, oh, I want this in silver, I want whatever. But if you don't like something, it's not going to work. That's something that I've
Yeah.
learned. So, I mean, that's really all I would probably have right now in terms of, specific advice for people getting into the jewelry business. But like I said, I'm still learning. I didn't really have like a mentor in the jewelry space for me to ask questions to. It kind of was on my own, just figuring it out as I go. So I think it's
Yeah.
just like the perseverance and staying positive through the journey, and you know, knowing that like things are not going to run smoothly. It's not possible. Like it's gonna, and it's okay. Like, because I'm a perfectionist, like we said, and I get overwhelmed, and I'm an emotional person, so I'll get in my feels about it. And I've learned that I've kind of just have like a bit of a tough skin and be like a businesswoman. I've got to like channel that side of myself. So I think
Yeah.
that's important too.
Do you think this might be slightly controversial?
It's okay.
Um, do you think you'd ever, because I know that it's like primarily women,
Hmm.
would you ever bring out a men's line?
I think so. I think I would, because we've
Oh,
got our Nicole bracelet is like a twisted chain, and my brother wears it. My bestie Adam wears it. I've had like a couple of guys, seeing, the guys wearing the bracelet and wanting a necklace in it, and even some of like the team of my manufacturers like are men, and they loved the twisted chain. And I just feel like there is some pieces that are more like unisex,
yeah,
but I don't know like if it would be specifically a men's line, maybe more of a unisex line. I don't know. I'm
yeah,
not like quite there yet, but I definitely want to bring out more pieces that men can wear as well. Because even when I am talking to men about the jewelry line, they're like, "Oh, like, do you have a men's line?" And it's like, no,
yeah. Yeah.
like not
No,
yet.
sorry.
Like this is for the girls, but sorry. But
I love
like
that.
it is important for men to also embrace their divine feminine. Can you see Lily? Oh, she's like, I want to snuggle on this SANGREAL jumper.
I love her. I love it.
Hey, hi, baby. Hi. You want to say hi? Come here. I'll get her. Come say hi.
I'm like, let's get the dogs involved.
Yeah.
Hi, Lily. I need
I
to make a
actually,
dog line.
I want to do like little charms for collars, or even like
You must.
like little dog necklaces. I've
Yeah,
seen dogs wearing necklaces, and I'm like, I
yeah.
need to do that.
I really want to
So
make like little dog jumpers and stuff. Like, we have to do this.
that would be
We have
so cute,
to.
like little bandanas. I know we have to for our babies. I know. Oh, bless her. Hi, hi. She's so cute. So
Sorry.
distracted by the dogs,
Yeah.
always, always. But as I was saying, I was just saying, like, men, divine feminine energy isn't just like for women. Like, all of us have
Yeah.
divine feminine and divine masculine energy, and like the the goal is to find that balance, like that yin and yang within ourselves, because we live in such a masculine energy dominated society and culture, with just the structure and the rules and the that power, and embracing like the softer essence and the nurturing side. And divine feminine's also like the untamed wild side of us, and connecting with intuition and compassion and sensuality. And I just think that men can like, it's actually really important for men to embrace their divine feminine energy.
Yeah.
So I do feel like men can connect with the brand too. It's just a little more difficult for men to connect with it when it is about like women empowerment and divine feminine, especially when men don't really understand what that is. So, down the line, I would love to educate men on this and bring out a line that maybe inspires men to embrace that side of themselves. But it will probably always be unisex, like even
Yeah.
if I bring out a line that is more like, appealing to men, then
Because
definitely.
let me tell you, I posted this ring, and the first person who messaged me about it was a man.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. I can literally show you. They were like, that ring is insane.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy.
So that's why I'm
Okay.
like, maybe we should, get that
Maybe
out
we
there.
should. You know what? You're absolutely right. That makes me feel so good, because I've only
Yeah.
really had that with the Nicole bracelet. So the fact that like our hammered
I
jewelry,
feel like,
yeah.
yeah. No, this would definitely work.
I mean, even if I was put something on the website or on our social media, like just showing what pieces can also like be worn by men too.
Get like pictures as well, like of men in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I do have some pictures of my brother in like the Nicole bracelet. I need to get those out there. This is my problem. I've got all this content that I'm not
Yeah.
posting. And
I feel you.
it's so hard, because I'm not like great with social media, and I just need to get better at it, or like hire somebody to like do it full time, and
And
get
I
the
feel
stuff
like
out
it's just
there.
easier if you have like a space to do that, like an office, and you can have like a little photography nook or like
Yeah.
corner and just like constantly be creating, but like we just don't have the facilities for that
Yeah,
yet,
no,
do
we
we?
don't. No,
So
yeah, no, exactly. We're small. We're
we'll
just
get
getting
there.
started. We will. We're on the right track.
Manifest, I
Yeah,
believe.
exactly. Yeah, me too.
Let's wrap it up on what's next for Bizouxx, if you're allowed to say. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, we're actually doing the shoot tonight, last minute before I travel tomorrow. I'm going to be out of town for like 6 weeks. So I'm like,
That's
okay, I want to
amazing.
do the shoot. So last minute, I called Abby and I was like, any chance that you're free Tuesday evening? I want to do a golden hour shoot at the beach for this new drop. And that's this drop that I mentioned earlier, this like pre-made charm necklace. We've got like the matching earrings and a few other like pearly shell kind of pieces. We've got some more hammered gold and silver earrings. And yeah. So I feel like people are going to love that. And yeah, we're just working on the next drop, really. I'm always trying to like have like new pieces for people like to bring out because again, we got to stay on top of the trends and the
Yeah.
seasons and all of that. So I guess it's just my next drop is what's next. And while I'm away, I'll be like editing the content, getting the photos together
Mhm.
for the website. But I probably won't drop it until I'm back in LA because my dear friend Michaela, who's going to be managing my orders this time, I don't want her to like, she'll be way too overwhelmed because
Yeah.
when we do a new drop, that's when like a lot of orders come in. So I'm like, I'm going to wait till I'm back so I can manage that part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to announce we've got a little sale going on SANGREAL right now. So that's 30% off site wide.
Ooh,
Um,
I'll be checking that out.
sangreal.uk, there you go.
Yeah.
But where can people find Bizouxx?
We have Bizouxx.com is where you can shop, as well as our Instagram, which is at Shop Bizouxx. And we're setting up our TikTok shop at the moment. So that's also Shop Bizouxx, and it's spelled Bizouxx.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jess. It's been
Thank
amazing.
you, lovely. It was so nice to have a little catch up and just discuss things all like business entrepreneur. Like I just can't, I'm so proud of us. I really am. Like we have come so far and it's just so lovely that, we can connect on this after being on set together in Paris as like little 18-year-olds.
We were actually the youngest. Like, that's
Yeah.
mad.
No, I know. I
We're
know.
doing it. We're doing it.
I know we are, and I'm so proud of us. Congratulations again, love. And I
And
really
you.
do like the quality is amazing. I love it. I'm gonna be bringing this with me. It's like my new airport outfit. So
I love that. I love it. Thank you so much, love.
thank you for having me. Love you.
See you next time,
Bye.
guys.